What is good, family? Henry Aaron Westbrooks, aka Wealthy Westbrooks, back with another fire video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. But if you've been tuned in and you already know the plot, thank you so much for here. I really appreciate your time. I hope you've been taking good care of yourself, stacking wins, leveling up, elevating, and thriving, drinking water, staying healthy, tapping into God, and all that good stuff, family. I have a really powerful video that I want to share with you today. We're going to be talking about how to tap into the God frequency. This is my first video that I'll be doing with the whiteboard, so bear with me as we navigate through it. All right. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, if you don't know me, again, I'm Henry Aaron Westbrooks. I'm an entrepreneur and a mindset coach. I've been helping people, I've been helping businesses reach their goals and their potential by using the knowledge of the elites. And I want to share with you right here on this channel in this video how to hopefully how you can do the same thing. How to use your brain, how to use frequency, how to use perspective and the power of your mind to elevate and live the desired reality that you want. Okay, so to me, when we say tapping into God frequency, pay attention closely, get your notepads out, make sure you're taking notes, drop your notes in the comments. Okay, because so many of you right now, and I understand, bro, because I used to be one of these people, right? We want to be figuring out how to control our reality. Okay, that's what it means. Now, if you really don't know, you're always consciously creating. You're always creating with your mind. You're always creating with your mind. Okay, so we're talking about your mind and your mindset. And when we talk about your mindset, think about the word mindset. Okay, it's almost two words, right? You got your mind and it's set. So what have you set your mind to? Ask yourself that right now. What have you set your mind to? What are your beliefs, right? What are your ideologies? Where did you get your beliefs? Where did you get these ideologies? Where do you get your thoughts? So many people don't understand the difference between your brain versus your mind, right? But when we're talking about God, a lot of people think it's just like this man in the sky, but that's really not the case. Okay, there's a God within you. Okay, you are God body. Okay, meaning you have the power to tap into Christ consciousness. Okay, now I'm going to be giving you some terms you may have never heard before or some concept that you never really thought about. But I really want you to stay with me, stay tuned all the way through the end of this video because it's going to make sense the more you pay attention, the more you dive into this and stick with me. So turn off all your distractions, turn off your Instagram, your TikToks, your Twitter, your Facebook tabs, close out all the stuff. Really pay attention to what I'm about to share with you because right now I want to show you how to ultimately create your desired reality. Right? Again, tapping into the God frequency. We're thinking about your reality right now. Your reality is ultimately an effect of a variety of things. Okay, so let me break this down for you. Determining your frequency is going to be the start. Okay, you need to figure out what frequency are you operating on because your frequency will ultimately determine the information that you get. Okay, whether you're at a high frequency or a low frequency will determine the information that you receive. High frequency, high value information, low level information. With information, you're then going to get okay. You're going to feel compulsed. How do you spell that word? Compulsed. I think it's an M. Right. Right. So depending on the information that you have is going to ultimately internally decide. It's going to determine like, okay, what should I like? You're kind of like, what should I do, right? But in order for you, I might have got to spell that word right now. I'm not a spelling whiz. How the hell do you spell that word? Now it's going to piss me off. Hold on, compulse. Another word for your compulsion is like what you're inclined to do, right? So depending on the information, it's going to determine your inclination. Let's just use that as a word for now. All right. So depending on the frequency you're operating at, is going to determine the information that you receive ultimately, right? And then based off of that information, you're then going to have certain inclinations. And the inclinations that you're feeling, right? That feeling. And when we talk about feelings, we're talking about emotions, right? And there are a difference between emotions. There is a difference between feelings and emotions. But ultimately, these two things right here are the language of the universe. And you are the universe. So when I say universe, you are your own universe. You got to stop thinking about the stars and the cosmos, right? Because it's you. It's your world. There's billions, 8 billion people on the planet, but there's multiple realities, multiple worlds. So when we're talking about your frequency and your information that you're getting, and then what you're inclined to do, that's ultimately going to then determine the actions that you take, right? Now this is a big part of it because a lot of times we skip through all this stuff. We just have like these random impulses that you don't even get accurate information. Your information and your frequency is all out of whack. So your impulses are and your inclinations are ultimately just kind of all over. They're scattered. Therefore, the actions that you're taking are just incongruent in alignment with what you need to do and who you want to be. So ultimately, what you end up with is your reality that you don't want. Determine the reality that you want. Right? How do we get to the reality that you want? It all starts with frequency. So in order to get to the reality, desired frequency, you'll never get from the universe that which you're not. So you need to become that person. You need to already have the things you desire within and be operating from that frequency. Okay, because as within, so without. So you'll never really be able to feel rich, get the girlfriend, get the money, get the business, get the subscribers, have the car, have the house, have the dream desired life if you're not resonating at that frequency. You need to first tap into the frequency of that. And then once you're at that frequency, you'll start to see and get information differently. And then as you receive that information differently, you'll then be inclined to take the proper action, which will then determine your proper reality. So the reality is, and people always talk about being realistic. Let's talk about that real quick because realistic people are limited. You don't want to be limited. And when we're talking about being realistic, people are often talking about, it makes sense, right? But the problem with making sense of things is that some things aren't going to make sense. Some things aren't meant to make sense. Sense, your sensory world, your seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and feeling, all that stuff. That's only half of you, the sensory realm. But there's so much going on beyond your senses, beyond the sensory realm. In fact, your senses can only determine a very small, very fragmented piece of what we determine to call in reality. So your reality is going to be different than other people's reality. That's why everybody has experiencing, they're experiencing reality differently because there is really no such thing as reality. It's all depending on you and your frequency and how you experience it. So yes, you can talk about politics. Yes, you can talk about economics. You can talk about all that stuff and try to be practical as you want, but there are people living different versions of reality in every moment of life. In every single day, there's people living alternate parallel universes, right? Because they're all tapping into different frequencies. It's kind of like your Wi-Fi. You tap onto your Wi-Fi on your computer or your cell phone, you look at all the different Wi-Fis. Depending on what you have to go to, whichever one you're tapped into is the signal you'll get. You'll be able to operate at that level. So it's the same thing with your mindset, right? So when you think about Wi-Fi, right, there's multiple, right? Just like in life, there's multiple frequencies. So you need to figure out how to tap into the frequency that you want, okay? And stop being so realistic for a second because a healthy level of delusion is okay. A healthy level of delusion is okay. Why? Because you're now using your imagination, which is one of your faculties. And God blessed you with mental faculties. God has blessed you with an imagination to perceive that which is not currently real. If you look at the current world outside, none of this was actually real. The buildings, the cars, the couch that you're sitting on, the chair that you're sitting on, your phone or your computer that you're using, your tablet, the surroundings that you're looking at, besides the nature and the trees and the bushes and the bees and all that stuff, none of that was here. It's all come from a construct of man. So when we look at the world, what do we actually understand about that? Well, we understand that you're living in a simulation. We understand that you're living in a matrix. We understand that you're living in a three-dimensional realm that's determined by your consciousness, by the consciousness of man, no different than anybody else, except tapping into their God-given imagination, which is one of your most powerful faculties. Okay, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, talks about And I have the book right here. Hold on. It talks about using your different faculties of your imagination, right? Now, this is going to get deep, and if you're interested in like deeper level to this, and you don't want to have to watch the videos as I break them down, just reach out to me for one-on-one coaching. We can have to speed up your process to make all this happen. But the reality is, we need to work on so many things, right? Now, God is the highest frequency. Going back to your consciousness, if you know anything about your chakras, you've got your lower level vibration. So a lot of people right now are operating from their root chakra. Let me start from the top so that it lines up properly. So at the top is your crown, okay? Under that, you've got your third eye. You may have heard of this. Under that, you've got your throat chakra. Under that, we're talking about energy, okay? God is energy. God is spirit. Spirit is energy. So like source energy. So you can put all these different names onto it, as many names as you want. Understand this. Under that, you got your heart, and you really need to open this up. This is the key right here. You got to open your heart up in order to receive the love of the universe. Really be tapped into this. So many people don't really give love. What we're about to show you right here, this willpower stage, which is ultimately your solar plexus, right? So, and then you have your sacral. And I'll break this down for you in just a second. And your okay. So what are we talking about here? Well, your root chakra, which is ultimately your lowest vibration, your lowest energy, right? This is the lowest energy. It's often attributed to, oh, I can't just do one color here. That'd be double if I could just do one color. Not just do one color, that'd be sweet. Let's try that out. Okay. I'll figure it out later for the next video, but just pay attention closely. Your root chakra, right? We're talking about chakras right here. Your root chakra is ultimately just based off of like survival. So many people right now, man, you might be stuck on survival. And trust me, I've been there before, right? Your mind, it can't even expand to these higher realms of thought and possibilities because you're just constantly stuck on survival rather than thriving. You're just focused on survival, right? Surviving, right? And this is kind of the lower beast nature of you, where all you want to do is like, like eat and like, you know, reproduce, if you know what I mean, right? So if you're constantly just lazy, and all you want to do is kind of just these type of stuff, animalistic sides of you just taking over, like you're just constantly horny, you just eat food, you're gluttonous. This is a lower vibrational state. That's what they're in. Okay, that's why in some religions, they fast, right? Because they're ultimately restricting their ego, which is a big part of this, right? They're restricting their ego. We're going to talk about that in a second. They're restricting their ego so that they can reach higher levels of consciousness. People sacrifice their food back in the day because not because they like killing animals, but because they are saying, "Here, God, here's source energy, here, divine creator, here's our food. We sacrifice this so that we can raise consciousness and get closer to it." Right? But so many people on this earth right now, especially because the media, the music, and the TVs and programs are just stuck at a root level, right? Which kind of ties straight into your sacral, which is essentially again, it's pre-production, but it's kind of like your sexual urges. I'm just gonna say it like that, right? It's kind of like your sexual urges and like lustful stuff, right? All of these different lower level frequencies that have to do with your basic biology. Okay, but as we start to elevate consciousness and get closer to the God frequency, we're not tapping into our willpower, which is your solar plexus, right? This is going to be red. This is going to be orange. This is going to be yellow. You'll see that on a chakra chart. I can show you that maybe in another video, or you can just look it up. But the whole point here is like your willpower is ultimately your confidence, right? So like your confidence, like your ability to make decisions, like your willingness to take action. Now the thing about this is God gave you free will, right? God gave you free will. So we can do anything we want. You can do anything you want. Now trust me, I've been at this lower frequencies. I've been operating from those lower stages. I've been chasing the shorties, bro. I've been with too many women, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably been my biggest distraction. It's never been like drugs or alcohol or laziness or anything like that. My biggest distraction has always been just women, right? I was, I'm a good looking guy. This, that. I got a lot of swag. I got a lot of game. So I was constantly distracted by shorties. But what I found is that that put me in a lower vibration constantly. That put me in a state of mind that was just foggy and didn't really allow me to elevate because my energy was scattered, right? If not depleted. So what we're talking about now is harnessing our energy, right? So you have to hold on to your energy, right? Cultivate that energy so that we can reach these higher realms. Now, some spirituals, teachers will talk about, your kundalini. Some people will talk about like semen retention is a big thing you'll see, but I'm not going to talk about this video. Your heart chakra is ultimately love, right? This is your connection to the world, right? And everything around you. Understand that love is really a powerful thing because you're always acting out of love or fear, right? So keep that in mind. If your heart chakra is closed, you probably have a lot of fear, right? You might have fear. Whereas everything you're doing is just dictated off of fear. You're dictating your decisions off of fear. Oh, I don't have enough money, or what if this happens, or what if that happens? Whereas your heart chakra, when you're falling into love, now we're talking about fear versus faith, right? And we're going to talk about these concepts here in just a moment, but just realize you have to generate an unwavering faith for the desired outcome that you want. Your reality is going to be determined by your level of faith in yourself, your belief in yourself. Now, faith and belief and knowledge are all different things. Believing something is not as strong as knowing something. So you need to know. Now, faith is just knowing and ultimately taking it above belief, right? Just knowing things are going to be good, even though it's unseen, even though it's hard to picture on your sensory level. You just know everything's going to work out. Put your faith in yourself, put your faith in God, which is within you. We'll talk about that shortly. But so many people have they've just given away their faith in themselves and their confidence in themselves to this imaginary being that they think is just staring at them in the sky, watching all their decisions. Now, I'm not taking away from any religion. I'm not taking away from any belief in a sense because I truly do believe in God, the Creator, and the higher power. But I want you to understand that there is you're made in God's image. There's references in the Bible that says that your body is the temple that God dwells in. So, in a sense, I'm not saying you are God. Obviously, you didn't create the world, man. Obviously, you didn't create everything, but you have to realize your power. It lies within. It lies within. You have to tap into your faith, and then as you start to do this, you're going to start talking, right? Speaking clarity. You're going to start speaking with conviction. And this goes with the things you say to yourself, your inner dialogue, the voice that you have running through your head. You start to download these things as you're in alignment. We're going to talk about alignment here as well, right? As you start to align your chakras and you get closer to source, the words that you use to other people, to yourself, about your life, about your situation become more congruent and in alignment with the desired outcome that you want. The problem is right now you're looking at your reality and you're like, I don't have enough of this, I can't figure this out, it's impossible. It's ultimately, by doing that, reinforcing those negative outcomes that you don't want. So while we're working on our throat chakra and speaking truth, right? Because the truth is you're a limitless being, man. You're limitless. You are limitless. Hope you're taking notes. You are a limitless being, meaning there is no limit to what you can opt. I mean, you don't want to be like erratical, like or irrational. Like if you obviously try to run through a wall, you're gonna hit that's it's gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? You can't just run through walls. But understand that everything is constantly moving and it's constant state of vibration. This table, this chair, again, the walls, it's this figments of matter is moving so quickly that nothing is actually ever really still and stagnant, just vibrating. So how do we change your vibration? Well, we increase our vibration, and as we stack that vibration up higher and higher and higher, that's going to determine the frequency. The frequency is similar to like your radio station. You will only be able to hear whatever channel you're tuned into, right? Like FM and AM radios, right? What frequency are you tapped into, right? Now, when we're talking about our third eye, that's the ability to really see what is. So many people think that you use your eyes to see optically. I get it, yeah. You're using your eyes. But what happens really is that your eyes are essentially just taking the information and receptors of lights, etc., and they're transmuting that into your mind, which is then determining what it believes it sees. Well, again, there's so much more going on beyond the physical eye, beyond your capable ability to see. There's a quote that says you have two eyes to look, but three eyes to see. Your third eye, and maybe you listen to the Beatles, right? Living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstandings all you see because your eyes will play tricks on you. Have you ever seen a magician? You know it's magic. You know, but your eyes can't figure out what it sees because there's just something happening on beyond your ability to see, to pick that up. So therefore, you can't always trust your eyes. You have to tap into your third eye, and then with that third eye, it's going to give you proper intuition ultimately, because now you can see inside. Intuition, in as in within. Tuition is the teacher. So you're able to teach yourself from within, from what you know. That was a bar. Write that down. We intuitively know. You intuitively know you want more. There's a burning fire inside of you. You know you want more. You know you want a better life. You know, you know you're capable of it. There's something blocking you. Series of these chakras that are blocked up. Whether you're just operating from a lower frequency, like you're stuck down here, or you're unable to open your heart. But once you get into full alignment, you're then going to tap into your crown chakra, which is ultimately Christ consciousness. Now, once we're at Christ consciousness, you've now reached what's known as infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence is what we need. Infinite intelligence is where the God frequency starts. God is infinite. You are infinite. Your soul is infinite. You're just living in this flesh and body, and it's hard to figure out. I understand. I get it. Some of this might sound crazy, but the reality is, man, you can tap into infinite intelligence. That's why the world is constantly progressing, getting better and better and better. There's never a shortage of ideas. There's never a shortage of inventions. There's never a shortage of possibility or creation. Why? Because people who have reached their infinite intelligence are using that and their God given faculties and working through God, whether they know it consciously or subconsciously, to then manifest their desired outcome. It doesn't matter what you want. You can want anything. First, you got to get really clear on what you want, right? What do you want? What do you want, man? Picture it. Really visualize it. What kind of life do you want? What kind of clothes do you want to wear? What kind of car you want to drive? What's the color of it? What's the inside, the outside, right? What about your home? Where do you want to live? What's the interior look like? What city? What state? What's the weather like? What about your relationship? What's the girl look like? What's the guy look like? For all my ladies watching, what kind of characteristics do they have? How does that relationship feel? What kind of conversations do you want to have? What do you want your bank account to look like? What do you want for your life? Get really clear on that. So many people right now, and maybe this is you. I mean, I know this was me. You just lack clarity. They lack clarity. They don't truly know what they want, and I get it because why they're distracted. They've done a great job distracting you in the matrix with the media, TV, Netflix, video games, sports, just your regular job and your 9 to 5. Like I get it, bro. It's hard for you to do that intrinsic work that needs to be done. You need to look within the inner work and really get clear on what you want. You got to figure that out because how will you know that you got it if you don't know what it is that you want? Right? It's the same thing. Like, where are you right now? And literally, like, ask yourself, where are you? Okay, cool. There you are. You figured that out. Now the next step is like, where do you want to go or be? Right? But the problem is, if you don't know where you are right now, how can you possibly know where you want to go or be? Think of GPS, like your Apple Maps, Google Maps, Waze Maps, whatever you use. In order to go, like in order to reach your destination, you first must know where you are at currently. Right? That's why it says current location and location. It won't be able to determine the route. It won't be able to give you a direct path to your final destination, your desired outcome, your desired reality if you don't have a starting point. So figure out where are you? Where are you at? Where'd you go? I missed you so. I hope this video is helping you, fam. I'm giving you as much value as I possibly can. If you can, like, comment, subscribe, so I know this is helping you. Comment your notes, so I know you're getting some value from this. I don't want to make this video just for entertainment at all. This is for education. I'm not here to just make you laugh or to help you pass your time. I'm really trying to give you practical information. Not even trying. I'm really giving you practical information that's changed my life, bro. I used to be at the bottom. I used to live in a small city. I used to be broke. I used to be buried in debt. I used to work minimum wage jobs and have just horrible like people around me and just abusive relationships, all that stuff, bro. And then I just decided like I want better. So first you need to decide. You decide your reality, man. You decide your reality. You might need to cut some people off. You might need to. Just understand that you have the power within, right? It wasn't until I shifted my mindset, right? It wasn't until I shifted my mindset that everything started working. You cannot expect a new outcome with the old version of you. Fam, you need to figure out what needs to change. You need to start acting as if you are that person, which is your desired self. What would they do? How would they think? What would their thoughts be? What time would they wake up in the morning? What would their habits be? Right? And now your old version of you is going to try to pull you back because subconsciously that's all you know. That's what you're really used to. So it might be uncomfortable in the beginning. But that's okay because that's your comfort zone. Get outside of it. And when you get outside of your comfort zone, like, comment, subscribe. That's how you tap into the God frequency. Get out of your comfort zone, become the person you want to be, and ultimately you'll grow into the person intentionally that you want to be. You have to set the intention, and you will experience divine intervention. It's a miracle. It's almost miraculous, man, but you can't experience it until you become it. Peace and love. I love you guys. I'll be here. Hope this video helps. Peace. Follow me on Instagram at Wealthy Westbrooks. DM me for coaching one-on-one if you want really one-on-one help, okay? I got you.